Hello everybody, I am Jim with Four Wheeling Arkansas, and I am here with my buddy Todd Metzger with Adventure Therapy TA. And if you'll think back to our first polar bear video back in November, we were in Eminence, Missouri, and that's where we actually met at. And you rode with me because it was kind of a trail that you didn't really want to take your truck on, and maybe your wife or something wasn't feeling like going or whatever. But anyway, you rode with me,
Yeah.
and you actually did a lot of filming on that project, and we did a little collaboration deal, and I thought that really turned out well. Had a lot of positive feedback on that video and really enjoyed that. And we've just kind of we also found out that we have a friend in common with Corey Hetrick and Blind Spot Overland, and I've been with him a couple of times, but we've kind of become friends, and kind of kept up and all that stuff. And his channel is at Adventure Therapy TA on YouTube, and you and your wife Alicia went to Upper Peninsula of Michigan around the same time, maybe a little before or a little after we did, I want to say.
October of 24 is when.
Okay, we went in August.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it was real similar to this. Oh, you went in 24.
24.
Okay, we went in August of 25. We went August of 25, okay. So we were a year later. But you need to go check out their video. They done a really cool video and all that. No, just go do what you're going to do. My granddaughter. But anyway, that was really cool. And I had a great time. We hung out and just visited all day long and had a really great time.
Yeah, and I'm going to correct you on one thing.
Okay, what was that?
We met at Rito.
Oh, that was in October.
In October, and then we did the polar bear.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
So I mean, we didn't.
We met
and
all that, but I think that's where we figured out that you knew Corey, and that you're big friends with Corey Hetrick. Or I don't want to say big friends, but you guys know each other and you guys hang out and all that stuff, which is kind of, we had a mutual friend, and now you guys have kind of fallen into the polar bear deal and got to know Chris and Amy and a lot of the folks that Jason, my buddy Jason, and I, we kind of frequent. We spend a lot of time with these guys. So
the whole polar bear, we kind of fell into that with Amy. When we first got into this several years ago, we met Amy at the first More Expo that we went to, which I can't even remember what year it was. Probably 23, maybe. I don't remember.
Probably so. They're big into it.
My wife and Amy got along real well because they both.
Your wife kind of gets along with everybody, though.
She does.
She's just got one of them personalities.
She's a social butterfly.
She's amazing.
Yeah. She's good. So
yeah, you done good for yourself, brother.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I mean, didn't we all? But
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So now, we kind of fell into her kind of group.
Yeah.
By meeting her there, and then I think we saw her there again the next year, and then they got communicating on Facebook and things like that. So and it's a real good group. Good group of people.
Yeah, it is. Now you guys, you were there and in Missouri, and then you didn't make it to Oklahoma because that was a long trek. You live up around St. Louis.
Yeah.
And that was just a crazy long trip for y'all.
It was going to be too much driving for what I was really willing to do for a one night camping trip.
Yeah.
It looked cool. I wish we could have been there, but it really wasn't feasible for us to do that trip that weekend.
Yeah. And then last month when we were in Arkansas, you were planning on going to that, and then Alicia wasn't kind of up to doing that. Now she has
lupus. She's got several autoimmune issues that renders her disabled. She has limited mobility. Right now she's not over here with us on this because her legs are cramping real bad. She just walked down from Big Brutus back up to the camp.
Because I met you on the way down, and you could tell she was fighting.
That took it all out of her.
And then that'll probably affect her tomorrow too.
Oh, this trip is going to affect her for a while.
Yeah, because not only after this is done, everybody's packing up and leaving here tomorrow at Polar Bear, Kansas. But you guys are going to spend a week.
Yeah,
the rest of the week camping and all that too.
Yeah, I'm on vacation next week, so we're going to try to, that's our channel name, Adventure Therapy. This is kind of our therapy to relax and just kind of get our minds right with everything, all the stresses of life, work, dealing with the issues, her autoimmune issues and lupus and everything, and it's just a getaway.
Yeah.
To where we can kind of leave everything behind,
all the worries of life,
decompress, and it's just me and her, you know. We're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to leave here, head down to the Ozark National Forest, in Arkansas, and spend some time down there exploring and adventuring and relaxing.
Absolutely. So, tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel, and obviously that the adventure therapy part and the TA. How did that kind of come about, and kind of tell me what that means to you guys?
Well, TA is Todd and Alicia.
Todd and Alicia makes
our
sense.
Initials. Yeah. And we did that to just kind of stand out from just adventure therapy.
Right.
At first I thought, oh, that's a cool name. Like, that really fits kind of what we're wanting and just what we're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then we looked into it and realized, well, that's a pretty generic name.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of, adventure therapy going on out there. So, we just did the TA, our initials, on the end of it, so that it could be more easily found.
Right. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so the therapy part of it, and I kind of want to dive into that because a lot of your story and kind of why you do this, and maybe it's just from my perspective, I may be completely wrong, but a lot of this kind of revolves around, what you guys, with her disabilities, but still wanting, because she has an absolute passion to get out and be involved and be out in nature and all, and do all these things that we love doing, even though it's challenging. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, you can see the look on her face sometimes that, and I met you, I was walking back down, I was taking my wife her jacket down there, and you could just see on her face that, that was challenging, trying to walk up that hill back here.
Yeah, that little
but the fact that she wants to be in the middle of all that stuff, which is really telling about her. I mean, she's an amazing woman.
It is, and sometimes it's frustrating for me because I knew she was hurting, and when she got up to come back, I'm like, do you want me to go get the truck? I'll get the truck, bring it down here, pick you up, drive you up there. No.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to draw attention. Like, she doesn't want, like, the attention on her that, oh, she's got something wrong and she needs help. And that's kind of frustrating for me because it's like, just let me help you, and no.
Yeah, because that over the next few days she's going to pay for that.
That walk up that little hill is
she's going to pay
trouble.
for that.
Yeah, she's going to pay for it. But yeah, kind of getting back to what that means to us and the channel and the channel name. When we kind of got involved in this, and our kids are grown, left the house, we're empty nesters, we're like, we need something to do for ourselves, we want to get away. Getting out into nature was just soothing for us.
Yeah.
And we started the channel with the intent of, one, I want to capture our experiences for us, kind of first and foremost, so that we can look back on them and say, man, look what we did.
Yeah.
But two, the other thing was that we wanted to try to bring awareness, maybe, of, you can still get out and do these things
absolutely,
even if you have disabilities.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, maybe we can show, if we can make these videos. And I'm not a videographer. I feel I'm getting better
at
it. I'm improving, but I'm by no means, the greatest YouTube channel out there for sure.
Yeah.
But we thought, if we can do these videos and show that, hey, you can do this, even if you have limitations in what you can do, we can find ways to make it work.
Yeah.
And maybe we can kind of inspire someone else that's in the same situation.
Yeah.
Saying, well, hey, if these guys can do it,
yeah, we can do that.
We can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really need to get better at bringing that out and really kind of emphasizing that point in my videos. I try, but I'm not very good at it. Like I feel I don't succeed at really kind of highlighting the whole therapy part, or the, like doing this with disabilities.
Yeah.
I kind of get stuck into that where like I'm just showing the pretty stuff, the pretty scenery and all that.
And I think I'm going to disagree with you, because I have spent a lot of time watching. I've literally went back and went through your entire library of work. And obviously it's because you've how long have you been doing this? Couple of years, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
And you started way before I do. I don't think that I've been doing this a year yet. But the videography part, from the beginning where you started to where you are now, and I had this talk with Caleb Baker here a while back, here a few weeks ago, when he did one of these coffee breaks, and that was something that he noticed. He was like just watching the journey and as you get better as time goes on, he said every video that you put out is just that much better than the other. And it can't help, but that's what I told him. I said, it can't help. When you start off as bad as I am, you can't help but get better, because if you get worse, you might as well just put it up. But that being said, I actually do see, I feel like personally, that I do see that you capture that really well about the struggles, because it's just like tonight. She wants to do this stuff. She wants to be there. And like I said, she doesn't want to draw attention. But the real human aspect of that is she's going to pay for that decision for the next few days.
Oh, yeah.
It's she's not going to bounce back. Me or you, we get tired, we get sore, and tomorrow we may not feel tip top, but, we're still going to go do whatever we're going to do. And I think you do an amazing job, honestly, putting that out there. Even if you don't realize it yourself, it is there front and center in the stuff that you're doing.
Okay,
I think. I just, and obviously I can see the progression as time has went on.
Yeah.
The stuff that you're doing is just better and better and better all the time. I'm a big fan. I mean, but I know you, and I don't know you well. I mean, we've hung out a few times. We talk a lot. And Alicia, my wife, is just, just loves your wife to death. And that's always a great thing,
Yeah,
and I think the world of her. And so just watching the whole, getting to see the backstory of it, before we met you. And then I don't know. I'm just a big fan of you, man. You and her both.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean that's awesome. That I'm not even sure what to say to that, because I appreciate those words. Sometimes I wonder, like if I should keep doing it or whatever, and I need to get better with consistency. Sometimes I go quite a long time between my videos, but
that would be my only complaint about it.
Yeah,
I wish you'd put out a little more.
I need to be more consistent.
But you also have to do it. You have a life. You have a full-time job. You're like me.
I work a lot.
I'm not a YouTuber, mate. This is just what I
exactly.
And honestly, I never set out. I never started this to do what I'm doing now. I think for me, this is a way to relive, and how it kind of started for me. I have brothers and sisters on the West Coast. They come out, and I've thrown them in the Jeep or in my pickup, and I've taken them to Car Wash Falls and Hawk Creek Falls, and I showed them all these cool places that we're going in the Jeep, and they're like, man, I wish I could see this stuff on these little, and I'd throw it up on Facebook on a 30-second clip or something like that. And they're like, and my sister, and they're like, we just love this stuff. And so then I thought, well, it'd even be cool, because that's just 30 seconds out of an entire weekend of amazing things that we did. And so I'm not a camera guy. I've never been into photography, videography, any of that.
Me either.
But what I have found, and the editing can be tedious, and be horribly tedious. But what I found is the more that I get into it, the more that I sit down and do it, the more I have found a passion in that editing. And I think it's because I get to relive those moments.
Yep.
Because you're going through all this. You take this huge amount of film that you've put out there, and you get to relive all that because, you know, I run 2 or 3 cameras sometimes, you know, all simultaneously, and trying to cut all of them together and make it to where it's not boring and kind of tell the story that you're trying to tell.
That's another full-time job.
It is. But what I've found is I take my laptop on the truck with me, and after I park up, after I work for the night, I throw up the Starlink and I hook up the computer, and for a couple hours, you know, an hour or two, I'll sit around and do some editing and all that, and then I put it up and go to bed, and it gives me something to do. But I'm also finding more passion in that, and I'm enjoying the editing part of it as much work as what it is.
Yeah, I enjoy it once I get into it.
Yes, you got to be in the right mood for it, don't you?
Yeah, my problem is just starting. Because I will start thinking about, how do I want to lay this out?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how long ago it was when I shot the video, like, oh, okay, now I need to go back and rewatch some of this.
Yeah, to get back to where you were at.
Right.
Yeah.
And so just going over that hump of just actually starting. Once I start getting the editing process going,
and you get your mind in the right
plugging
place,
some videos in and kind of figuring out, okay, this is the direction I think I want to go.
Yeah.
Then I start enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah.
But just getting that started, and like you said, reliving it. Yeah, I love that. Especially, like, I've got video from a trip down to Arkansas from a year ago, last March.
Yeah.
And I had never made the video for it.
Yeah.
And so going back, and I did that like last week. I just kind of put some of them video clips back on and rewatched them. I was like, oh yeah, I remember doing that.
Yeah,
that was fun, you know.
And I know it was because you had a smile on your face when you were saying that, you know.
And that's really should be the next video. I need to get that done. I've been holding on to that for a year. But and then kind of going back to what we were talking about, trying to highlight Alicia's like autoimmune issues and things, and, you know, doing this with limitations. Like you said, that you can kind of see that come through in my videos, and I feel I need to do a better job of that. I got a buddy of mine that I work with, Bill, and I bounce a lot of stuff off to him. He comes up with some pretty good ideas, and he, as soon as I put one out, man, I'm like, yeah, I put it out, and he'll watch it, and I said, give me the feedback. Like I want the good.
You need honest feedback.
I don't want just, oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
No, like, tell me what parts that you didn't like.
Where did you get bored where you would say,
right,
if you didn't know me, because you're going to power it through because we're friends.
Right, yeah.
But where would you lose interest and you just say, you know what, I'm out.
And I appreciate that real honest feedback. And
you got to have that.
And he told me in my last video that I put out, it was about going over to Illinois in the Shawnee National Forest.
I love that video.
And he said he was just thinking, as he's watching the video, man, he's really not showcasing like Alicia, or, you know, the therapy part of the videos and her limitations and stuff. And right as he thought that, I went to a part where it showed us walking,
coming up that hill,
walking that path at Garden of the Gods, where she was really struggling, and he was like, there it is.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just about to interrupt and say, no, I disagree, because I remembered that part. But
right.
No, but you're 100% right about that. You have to have, and Jason, my buddy Jason here in the Nissan, he is my sounding board. We've been friends for 15, 18 years, and he will be brutally honest with me and he is, you know, it's like, whatever it is that he feels,
Mm-hmm.
and he will, and he doesn't do this. He's not interested. He doesn't watch. He watches my stuff because we're friends. He watches some other stuff as well, but he's brutally honest with me.
Yeah.
And you have got to have that.
Yep.
That is critical, because you'll never get better if you don't have it. His big thing with, and my wife is brutally honest. After 30 years, there's no many more. The last polar bear video, it was horrible, and I know it was. The Arkansas, it was rainy, so it was raining. She was with me. We did a lot of dash cam stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't get out and do a lot of external stuff. Didn't set up any shots or anything like that. But when I started, I'll tell you what happened with that. I spent like 8 hours editing a video, and I was really proud of it. It was really good. In my mind, it was really good. And when I went to upload it to YouTube, the disc on my laptop did not have enough disk space to upload it.
Oh, no.
And so I've got a buddy who's a big IT guru that lives down in Florida now. He's from California. I grew up with him. He's my longest best friend. And I mean, we've been friends since we're like 10 or 11 years old. But he was doing AI back 20 years ago. I mean, he had a job in IT to where he would literally fly around to Fortune 500 companies when their internal IT guys couldn't figure out what it was.
Huh.
They would pay him to fly in, figure out these problems. He did that for 5 or 6 years. And so he's on the cutting edge of computers and all this stuff. I mean, if there's a question that I have, then he's my go-to guy, because he has the answers. And I called him and I'm like, look, dude, I got this video I've just spent a ton of time on and all that, and I can't get it to upload because there's not enough disk space. So he had me go in, shut some things off, do some parameters, and he said, the long and the short of it, you need a new laptop. He said it's full. It just, for what you're doing, it wasn't designed for that to begin with, and you just need a new computer. He said, but try these things and see if you can get it uploaded. So I tried those things and it wouldn't upload.
Oh, no.
So I ended up doing a factory reset on my computer.
Oh.
And I still have all the footage because I have that on an external hard drive, but the video that I made was gone. So I reset the computer, which freed up enough space, and then I went back through and I just threw that video together in about 2 hours. And because I just couldn't get back into that headspace that I was in to really produce that good quality. And for me, good quality is not real good. I mean, when you put it up against Caleb Baker or Corey's, those guys are just on another level. Corey is amazing. Yeah. And what I love about him is he tells an entire story without ever saying a word.
Yep.
And that is such a brilliant talent to have, that I'm love that guy.
And that's funny you mentioned those two guys, and
those are my two favorite guys.
I love both those guys, and I even said that on our Facebook page. I shared not his last video now, but the video before
Corey's.
And Corey's Blind Spot Adventures, and that's exactly what I said when I shared it on Facebook. I said, this dude can tell a story without saying a word.
Yes. I actually seen that.
And then Caleb Baker, like, I really enjoy his narration.
Yes.
And just the way he describes things.
He has got that terms. Voice.
Yeah, good voice, and just like the descriptions of things, like he just the way he lays it out in his narrations and voiceovers.
It's just perfect.
I really like,
along
with the video, like,
and the videography is like next level stuff, But Caleb's shooting on like a $4,000 camera, but he's in a, and it was great because when we were doing our coffee break, we were talking about that, starting, because it's a little under a year ago he quit his job of 12 years and started this deal, and and that's what we were talking about. I'm like, a lot of that stuff, he's had that over the last 12 years. He's bought them high-end cameras and, and has all the tools and all that.
But he knows how to use them.
It does.
I can buy a high-end camera.
Yeah, doesn't do me any good.
It's not going to do me any good because I don't know.
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
Recording in log and then going through.
Yeah, going through color grading and all that stuff.
I'm like,
but Corey's really good at that too. I mean, he does an amazing job on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I love about Caleb is I go on a lot of his members trips, And so I'm filming and all that stuff. And so that's what I was telling him. I know what happened on the video, but I am so excited for his video to come out because it is nothing like what I think it's going to be. You know, I mean, the narration is different, but the storyline, he digs so deep into the storyline and the history and all those things that it's just it's mind-boggling to me how his mind processes all. That guy is just, and he's so cool that he'll actually the video that I released Friday was of his last members trip, and he come in and commented on that. You know, such a big fan, and such a big help. I mean, if you sit down and ask him questions about stuff, he's more than willing to get out there and kind of help and guide, and he just a super cool dude. Love that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. But I think Corey has a lot of those same. I think Corey is every bit as talented as Caleb is. But what I love about Corey is he goes in his own direction and he's doing his own thing. And Caleb's a big fan of Corey's.
Yeah.
He really is. I'm a huge fan of Corey's. And we met on a Baker's member trip. We've been on a few of them, and I just love the way he sets up shots and the way he tells that story through his videography. And I don't know, he's that guy. I just love that guy to death.
He's passionate about it. Like, you can tell that
he is.
He really
cares.
It, and
he puts a lot of thought and a lot of work. And even when he's on Baker's members trips, you know, I've heard him. You know, I've been around with me and Caleb and him sitting around talking about, you know, and he's really passionate about the art of it.
Yes.
I mean, he's a very deep thinker. When it comes to this. And so it's funny because the last two of them we've been talking about trying to get a trip together with me and him and you, because he's a big fan of yours too. He really likes what you're doing, which it's easy to like. I mean, I don't know. I love the story that you tell.
Well, I appreciate that.
I do. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fanboy of what you're doing. So
no, and I'm the same way. Like, every time I watch one of yours, I can see the improvement.
Yeah,
you know, like every one. And I remember watching your Arkansas one, and I thought, he's doing something different because, well, you got the drone.
Yeah.
Now, so now we got the drone shots, but you didn't narrate anything. Like, you just let the video play and just follow along with your adventure.
Yeah.
You know, and didn't need a narration. Like, that's kind of a video that I don't think.
But my wife is just the opposite, because we sat down and looked at this, and what I realized later of it, I droned on for the drone stuff went on for like 3 or 4 minutes in the very beginning of it, and she's like, "This is getting really old," you know. And yeah, they're cool drone shots and stuff. She's like, "This is getting old. You don't need all that climb."
I don't think they appreciate the drone shots. No, because my wife says the same thing. She's like, why do you guys like all these drone shots? You know, like, because they're cool.
Yeah, I know.
What to tell you.
But Kathy was one. That was the first thing that she said. She said, "You need to get better at talking. You need to talk more on your videos," because I have a few, and even Jason has told me that. I have a deal where I actually film it on my phone. It's a dash cam, but I have my phone, and my phone has a two-way camera. Yeah. And so I can stick. And so when we were up there at Polar Bear in November, when we met, you know, I got up that morning and I'm doing my coffee and all that stuff, and I'm doing a little narration to where, and I've also done that driving, like when me and Brantley went, when me and Chris and Amy and all of us went, and we actually met Josh and Grant up there by the hanging tree deal, you know, when we were coming up, we were headed up to OART Cafe, which is where we were meeting. And so I just clicked on the camera with that two-way camera and kind of narrated. And then I did the same thing when we went to Rito. And Jason was like, "I really like that, because you don't see that on a lot of them."
Yeah, it's a little different.
You know, you get to see what you're looking at, but then you're narrating. So Jason's told me the same thing. I need to talk more. And so I love, Caleb's really big on the voiceover note. Caleb does a lot of voiceover stuff. So I literally it just came in Thursday night. I actually bought a mic that would actually, it actually plugs into my phone, but it also plugs into my laptop for my narration, because I've been using the narration, just the mics on my laptop,
Yep.
which are not real great.
Right.
It's not. So I plug this into my phone, and and it's more of a professional mic and all that, and it's on the attached to your table and all that. So I just kind of threw a little narration test down for, and it's like, holy crap, this sounds like one of Baker's narrations.
It does.
That makes such a,
It
and
does.
it's not expensive. It's a Amazon, $65-$70 mic,
Mm-hmm.
but it has all the stuff on it, and so
that kind of stuff, and I've been trying to do that slowly over time. I same thing. I was using the mic that was on my headset, to do the voiceovers, and it's a good headset, and it was okay. But I bought a standalone mic, much better quality, and I think it sounds better. The lapel mics or whatever that we're using here, the little wireless mics. I got some of those, upgraded to like a DJI Osmo Pocket 3.
Yeah.
For most of my videos instead of cell phones,
Yeah.
So, and then got a drone, so like little by little, just you trying to like improve stuff. Things that just make it a little bit better. Sound quality is better now.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
well, it's like I bought these early on, these little microphones, but the first couple of them that I did, I turned mine on and it was great, but yours wouldn't come on. And so I'd be sitting having a conversation there, like, and Jason, my sounding board, he's like, man, I hear you great, but I can't hear the guy, I have a hard time hearing them. So now it's like when I first come and talk to you, we talked the other day about doing this, but I come over and I said, hey, when we get ready. So the first thing that I did is came over and set up the camera. And then I'm over here with both mics and I'm running little test deals. I'm over here test to make sure both mics are working, right, to make sure that we got good sound quality, because this is really your story, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get out of this. I want to hear your story. I mean, I can sit here and drone to everybody. Everybody knows my life story. Everybody that's going to watch this. I mean, my family in California is going to watch this. 6, as I told Caleb, 6 people are going to watch this. And they're not interested in me. I want them to know the cool people that I'm meeting out here doing this. And, I mean, we live 250 miles apart. We would have never met if it wasn't for this off-road overlanding thing,
this community and a lot of good people in it.
Exactly. And that's what I told Caleb the same thing. I'm here for the people, man, the relationships that I make. And I have made such, it's on his member strips. I've met a whole lot of really cool people that I met 6 months ago, and now I've camped with these people 4 or 5 times over the last 6 months. Stephen Moore, Craig from he's from Dallas, Texas. He's part of the Overland 870 crew. Craig Puckett.
Okay.
And so I've met him, got to know him really well, and got to know a lot of really cool people through these kind of things. And this whole group on the other side of the camper here that we're hanging out with, I mean, Chris and Amy, this is where it started. I met Chris and Amy through a friend of ours that we started this with. And then those people aren't really even running with us anymore, but we got in with Chris and Amy, and of course my buddy Jason, I got him into this. And so, but it's the people that we've met. We've met some really amazing people, and got to know you and Alicia, and kind of got to learn a little bit about your story, and you guys as a community, Josh and Grant, and now his father-in-law was over here, and I don't know, is the stories of the people that we met is just, we've met some phenomenal people over the last 3 years,
sure,
in this community. So, and that's kind of what these coffee breaks for me are all about, because I want people to understand that we go to cool places and we see really cool things, but we meet some really cool people. That now we can call friends.
And
hey, Amy, go ahead and go in and do whatever you need to do. You're not bothering us a bit.
You're bothering me just a little bit.
but anyway.
Yeah, no, really, like, my thing is I really enjoy just getting out and doing like some alone time and decompressing and being out there, just feeling like,
I'm
you know, the
fixing to
rest.
sneeze, and I don't think I can help it.
Oh, go ahead,
That's horrible.
But
Now I'm not going to because I said that, but it was coming.
But yeah, I really enjoy kind of like the alone time with this, getting out into nature and out into the forest and just kind of relaxing and decompressing. But I also enjoy the other side of it, where we can periodically do these group events.
Yeah.
And through these, you know, like, we've become friends, and Amy and Chris, and, you know, I mean, I can't name everybody, you know, like,
Yeah, but there's a
so
ton
many
of people
people
here.
that we have met, just really cool people, and the community's great, and that we would consider friends now. And so that's the other side of it. You know, part of it is just getting out and kind of being alone with nature, and, you know, like, just me and Alicia out there by ourselves. And then the flip side of that coin is to come to these events here and just like hang with just really cool, good people, you know.
Yeah.
And striking that balance of getting both, you know.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's probably the hardest part, is because there's so many of these events going on now, and you're being pulled in so many. Like this weekend, we're here in Kansas at Big Brutus, but at the same time this weekend, Jasper Jeep Jam's going on. I know a lot of the guys that are at Jasper Jeep Jam, you know, and a lot of guys that I've been friends with, you know, made friends. Well, John Howe with Healing Trails Off Road that we met.
Good dude.
I talked to, yeah, he's an amazing dude. I talked to him a couple of nights ago on the phone, and he was hoping I was going to be up there because he's there, and I'm like, no, we're kind of committed to, and I committed to this polar bear deal, you know, back in what, October, I think. Got with Chris and Amy. They're like, oh, you got to do these, and so we did, and I don't regret that at all, because out of the 4 events, Kathy, my wife, has been to 3 of the 4, and you know, this is obviously, we have the motorhome here, so this is more her type of camping. But last month we were in Arkansas, and she was in my rooftop tent sleeping. She swore she would not do that. So, but because of this group of people, she was like, you know, with Amy and Lindsay, she thinks a lot of Lindsay.
Oh yeah.
And Krista, and you know, and all the ladies actually, you know, Megan and all of them. And it was like, no, you got to come, you know. And they kind of brought her into the fold. They met me first, obviously, and got to know me. And why they like me, I have no idea. But when finally, it was funny, because when she finally went to Oklahoma, we took the motorhome, went to Oklahoma, and they were like, we were starting to think you just made her up, you know. But they've really, and Kathy has really taken to them as well. So
they're very welcoming.
They really are, because Kathy was like, well, her plan was to go to Oklahoma and then to come to this one where we could bring the motorhome. Because she's like, I'm not sleeping in the rooftop tent. I'm just, not my thing. I'm not doing it. And then we got to Oklahoma, and she was like, they kind of conned her into going. As time after Oklahoma, she had a great time out there, and they're talking to her about Arkansas and this and that. And she's like, well, all right, I'll go. And then Sam and Margie, our neighbors, you know, they rented a trailer and went. And Margie sent her a text about this trailer, that, you know, a little small trailer like y'all's, that you could rent for the weekend. And I'm like, if you want to go, I'll rent the trailer. And she's like, I don't want to spend the money for that. If I go, I'll just sleep in the tent with you. That was the first time she'd ever slept in our tent. And so, and then she's like, but if I go to that, I'm not going to Kansas. I said, okay, I get it. Well, then when Kansas come around, after we got home from that, they got Amy and all the girls, they got her in the group chat and all that. She's like, all right, I'm going. So she's ended up making 3 of the 4.
That's awesome.
Speak of the devil, there she is. So, but anyway, and I think she's enjoyed it and had a good time. And
that's great.
Yeah.
Because it makes it so much better.
It does.
When you can include your spouse and everybody's enjoying it.
It is fun. because for us, a lot of times when I go out in the Ozarks or wherever we go, I mean, she's not there. She's at home.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I own a semi truck. I drive truck. I'm gone 5 days a week. I usually leave Monday morning, Sunday night, or Monday morning, and it's Friday night before I get home. I may be home a night or two through the week sometimes. Sometimes I am, sometimes not. But then on the weekends, that's kind of her time. And, it's like if I go do something, a lot of times I feel guilty because I feel like I should be at home, doing the things that, doing things with her. And we do a lot together, but I feel guilty. And, this deal that I do is not necessarily what she loves to do.
Yeah.
And so I am absolutely willing to make any accommodation to try to make it more comfortable so she does want to come.
Yeah, and I get that because I'm the same way. If I have a chance, I work a lot of overtime. I work Monday through Friday, but weekends are overtime for us. So a lot of times I'll work 6 or 7 days a week. And so I don't have a lot of free weekends to just go out on my own and do stuff. So if we do have a chance to do something, like I want to take Alicia with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would feel guilty like leaving her home while I go out for a weekend getaway for myself.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And making those accommodations for her, especially with the things she's got going on, like with these autoimmune, she's become very heat sensitive. She's basically allergic to the sun, the UV rays. Like if she's out in the sun too much, she'll start breaking out in a rash,
right?
Get very uncomfortable. And heat's the same way. Like she just heat sensitive. So we tried. I've got a Tacoma, and it's a long bed, and we aren't tall people, so it's long enough that we can sleep in there. And I tried that. I made a platform for the back so that we could sleep on it, and it just wasn't very comfortable.
Yeah.
For her. I've got a topper on there.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't very comfortable because the platform is up over the wheel wells, so it doesn't leave a lot of space for it. Like we couldn't lay there and sit up straight.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just wasn't very comfortable, and we did that a couple times, and she's like, "I'm done." Yeah. Like I can't do that. I'm hurting too much in the mornings. I'm not sleeping. So we're like, well, let's get a little trailer. That we can pull. So we've got that. It's got the AC unit on it, which I have to be at an electric campsite in order to use that. So we really don't do much camping in the summertime. It's just too hot for her.
Yeah.
And she would just have to stay in the camper in the AC the whole time. So I mean, what's the fun of that?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So most of our stuff is done fall, winter, and spring.
This is the best times to camp anyway.
It is. I think
myself, we don't do anything in the dead of summer either.
Yeah, just too hot.
It is. Or if we do, like in August, we went to the Upper Peninsula. It was 98, 99 degrees here in Arkansas, but it was 60 degrees up there. So we ended up doing that, So
yeah.
And I think a lot of us here in Arkansas and Missouri are like that because it's so hot here in the summer, in June, July, and August, that if you're going to do this, you're going to go to higher elevations or you're going to go in drier climate. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Or if you're going to go like last July, actually I was with Corey and some other guys, Glenn and Adam, and we just went and we camped on the riverbank, Current River.
Yeah.
And so we go jump in the water and cool off.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not bad. Alicia wasn't with me on that trip. She couldn't have done that, but
right. Yeah.
That's about the only thing to do in the heat of summer is to be right next to the river.
Absolutely. But you've got a really cool setup with your Coachman Clipper little deal, and yeah, we were checking that out earlier, and that works well for the the remainder of the spring and fall and winter time. That's really nice. My wife absolutely loves your guys' camper, so yeah, that's kind of a cool setup. And I don't know. I mean, it's just some of the stuff that you guys done. You're. Let's talk a little bit about your Illinois trip, because that was it in my mind, and I've spent a lot of time in Illinois. I mean, in the truck, you know, there's nothing in Illinois,
No.
but there's obviously you found a little piece of heaven
Yeah.
in Illinois.
Yeah.
That was an amazing video that you put out. I absolutely love that, because I was like, where's that at?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
how'd you find that?
Yeah, and I really wouldn't have known anything about it. My youngest son, he did like a backpacking trip. He I don't even know what trail it was. He went with a friend and did a trail down there in the Shawnee National Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, this is a really cool place." And I'm like,
Illinois, really?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. It was 6 months or a year later or whatever. Something brought it back up in my head about the Shawnee National Forest down there, and so and the Garden of the Gods, and I looked it up on the internet, and I was like, huh, this is kind of interesting looking, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe Kyle was right, that is a really neat place.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of one of those things like, we're off this weekend, let's go check out Illinois. You know? I mean, I never thought I'd say
maybe
that.
a bus, but let's go see.
Right, yeah. So, and it was really cool. It's down at the very southern tip, basically, of Illinois.
Yeah.
Down in the Shawnee National Forest, kind of a neat place.
Yeah, no, it's very cool.
A lot of hiking trails and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like wilderness areas. So there's not like a ton of like off-road trails for driving.
Right.
But a lot of hiking. So like if you're into hiking and stuff, that's a pretty neat place.
Very cool. No, I loved it. I think you done a great job on that video, and I loved it. I sat. No, very good. No, I enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Well, Todd, I really appreciate you taking a little bit of time and hanging out and visiting, and I'm a big fan of you and Alicia. You're kind of an inspiration of the way you guys have just figured it out, how to do what works for y'all, you know.
We're still in the process. We're figuring it out, but
yeah, because you said that earlier. You guys are thinking about getting ready, or Alicia told me earlier you're thinking about getting rid of your camper and your truck, and maybe doing more of the van life thing or something like that when you retire, and maybe doing full time. Or
I'm hopefully planning on retiring in 5 years, and you know that's gonna bring a lot more travel.
Yeah,
and further places, and go out for hopefully months at a time, maybe.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And there's something really appealing to me about a van setup.
Yeah.
And not really like the newer like Sprinter vans and stuff, but kind of the old school, like the Ford E Series, or the Chevy. I can't think what that is, but the 2500. The old school like boxier vans.
Yeah.
Four-wheel drive. You know, maybe
where you can lift I gotta straight axle and all that stuff.
Yeah, the straight axle, four-wheel drive system, and I got to be able to stand up. That's one of my requirements. I want to be able to stand up, so like a high top on it, or maybe one of the pop tops, you know, like a sportsmobile or something like that. Yeah. And to me, there's something really appealing about being able to just go from the driver's seat right into the
bed without having to get outside.
And I think it would really work for her, because especially these long trips, she has trouble. She'll start hurting sitting in the front seat of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So if we had that van, you know, be like,
she just get up and go back here in the back and lay down and stretch out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're kind of thinking about for the future.
That's awesome. But I love that you're willing to adapt and kind of overcome kind of deal, you know. I mean, to still do what you both love to do, but not be tied into that box of the way that everybody else does it.
The typical overlander.
It's like, hey, we're gonna do what we need to do for us to make the most pleasurable. It still get to the most interesting places that we want to get to, because we don't have to be rock crawlers. We don't have to be pavement princes. We don't have to be anything. It doesn't matter what you are. as long as it's what you guys enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And you can get to the places you want to go.
Everybody has their own flavor of what they want to do. And, we've had this discussion where I've said, I will do trails to get to some cool scenic place to camp. Because that's what I want to do. I'm not necessarily going out there to do the trails.
Yeah.
And you said that you would stay at a cool scenic place to camp so that you can go do trails.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like we all have our different approach to it, but we're kind of doing the same thing.
We are.
And I think that goes for the YouTube channels too. Like everybody has their own thing.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that want to watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
Yeah.
And you just have to connect, you with those people.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
Find your audience. But, like there's people out there that kind of get the same vibe that we're putting off.
No, absolutely. And probably more than what we even think.
Yeah.
Because, and that's it's great about our relationship. I mean, we don't necessarily are doing this for the same reasons, or we don't necessarily like doing exactly the same things, but we find areas along the edges where what you guys do and what we do, or it's not even about what we do, about what I do more, those things intersect. And that's kind of where we meet. I mean, I can still sit and enjoy, you're obviously, I like more technical stuff. To me, probably if it wasn't for the technical trails, I don't know that I would be probably as I like the excitement of it and all that. Yeah. Not that I want to tear my stuff up, and I'm not looking to do, 7 and 8s and stuff like that, rock crawling and all that. That's not my interest at all. But I like to find really cool places. And then I would like to find the funnest that's challenging for what my build is, to get there, but really it's just about exploration, because I don't care really about the trail. If I have an idea that I want to go somewhere and this is where I want to go and I'd like to camp here, I've seen it somewhere, I've heard about where it is, I don't even really care what the trail is. It's the experience of, all right, I'm going somewhere I've never been before. I'm seeing stuff that I've never seen before.
Yep.
And it's probably where we camp is more important to me than the trail itself. But if you throw a really cool trail in there that's challenging but not crazy, then I'm kind of in heaven.
Yeah.
And I probably overbuilt my rig to an extent to where I can do pretty much any trail that I want to do to get where, but I'm not looking to tear anything up. I'm not interested in that. But I want to be able to go where I want to go to. And I have other buddies like Jason. That's his daily driver, And so if he tears something up, that's a major deal to him, because he's walking or sharing. He has an extra car, but he's basically, that rig is down until he can get it fixed.
Yeah.
Me, I'm blessed enough. I have 2 other vehicles that I drive. And so if I tear this one up, the worst case scenario is I get a ride back to my house so I can get my pickup and trailer and I can haul it home. And if that thing sits in the garage for 3 months until I can fix it, I don't have to worry about how I'm getting back and forth to work.
Yeah.
And so, but I spent 35 years killing myself to get to that position.
Yep.
I mean, I'm very fortunate to have a dedicated trail vehicle. And so I don't care if it gets 6 miles per gallon or 10 miles per gallon. It doesn't matter what it gets, because
it's what makes you happy.
It is. And so, but that's what I love about it is we can, our paths intertwine in places. But it's not necessarily anything, because what you guys do is very different than what I do.
Yeah.
But I can sit and watch one of your videos and I can sit here and think, man, I would love to do that, because you don't really show, I do a lot of trail stuff. A lot of my videos are on the trails that I'm doing and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of a natural progression as you get better. But for yours is more about what you're doing when you get there.
Yeah.
and it's centered around Alicia and what you guys are doing when you get there. And I find that I'm fascinated by that. I mean, I sit and I watch that because I know you, but it's engaging to me. I mean, I really enjoy that because um, I know even for me, I mean, I have a great time when I go out with my buddies, but it's very different when Kathy comes. But I prefer this, because I'm getting to share it with her.
Yeah.
And that's
sure.
that's who you pick to spend your life with,
Yep,
and
exactly.
that's where I want to be, and it's kind of my happy place. So, and I love the fact that your whole channel is kind of about your guys' journey, yours and her journey. And so now I'm a big fan, man. I really am. Love what you're doing, and can't wait till we get together and
we
do the next
got to
one.
make
So
that work.
we will definitely do that. But Todd, I'm going to leave this here because we've been on here a pretty good while.
Yep.
But thank you very much for hanging out with us
Yeah.
and taking the time to sit down and visit with us. And
thanks for having me do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Thanks.